Your group surveys the land beyond the river that the aristocrats spoke of. He claimed that none who go there ever return, yet you've little choice but to brave what lies beyond. A great river of tinder water stretches out before you. While the liquid no longer burns, it would still be dangerous to attempt swimming. You start to hesitate, thinking that there is no crossing, when Polka shouts, "Da-na-na-na!" He is carrying an iron board, apparently having brought it back from the Lake of Fire. Just as before, you and your allies decide to build a bridge across the river. Battle time. Your group crosses the river, and as you celebrate, you take notice of the tough, rock-studded expanse of land stretching before you. Your sand skiff was made for moving over the sands, so it'll be difficult to go any farther aboard it. You propose remodeling the sand skiff, and Polka is first to agree. Legol's face is uneasy as he mutters, "Don't do anything weird to it." Polka explains that 3 materials will be needed to convert the sand skiff. After some quick preparations, you decide to split up to locate what you need. Sometimes a different perspective can be illuminating. Polka asks Trollis to find some durable cord. Despite feeling a little sluggish, Trollis takes off to the south, eager to help the group. Polka says, "You take care of gathering everything we need. I'll stay here and draw up the plans." Trollis wanders the area, searching for some durable cord or rope, but turns up nothing. Trollis rummages through her possessions, looking for some durable cord. Inside, she finds a whip from her apprenticeship. She must have brought it along by mistake. It once belonged to the ringmaster of the circus. Looking over the whip brings back memories. Trollis spends some time reminiscing as she gazes at the whip, but then realizes, "Not cord," she says, tossing it away. Realizing that a whip could work in place of a cord, Trollis decides to return to the sand skiff. With what Polka requested in hand, you beat feet to meet back up with the others. The group meets back up, having gathered all three of the things needed to modify the sand skiff. You've brought the sturdy pole, Legol has the wheels, and Trollis has the whip. "Are you sure I can use your whip?" Polka asks, and Trollis gives a little nod. Trollis turns her bag upside down, and, as advertised, a number of whips tumble to the ground. "Doesn't your ringmaster need these?" Legol gets a distant look on his face. A bit of pep in his step, Polka starts zipping around the sand skiff, making modifications. The modifications to the sand skiff are finished. The vehicle should be able to pass through the rocky wasteland without issue now. The group is thrilled, but suddenly, Trollis collapses. Polka hurries over to examine her. Somehow, she's suffering the effects of tinderwater poison. Beyond holding her close and squeezing her hand, there is little else you can do for Trollis. The battle with the flame primal flashes through your mind. During the struggle, Trollis threw herself in harm's way to protect you from the primal's attack. The poison must have entered her body through the wound she sustained in the process. Despite downing some of Polka's medicine, Trollis remains languid. It seems that the effect isn't very strong. She needs a sanitary place to rest, Polka says, and the group decides to try to find one. A man, breathless and plump, suddenly jumps out in front of your group as you search for a place where Trollis can rest. Recognition dawns in you, and you're sure this is the ringmaster of the circus. At least, until he flatly denies it, saying you've confused him with someone else. Trollis rises unsteadily from the deck of the sand skiff, tilts her head to the side, and says, "You not ringmaster? The man looks at Trollus for a moment, then breaks into a delighted smile. Oh ho! You're one of my brothers from the circus. As he explains it, this man is the younger brother of the circus ringmaster. He works as a merchant who travels the world buying and selling all manner of rare articles. And to that end, he wastes not a moment in trying to strike up some business. Perhaps a gander at my wares, then. You briefly explain Trollus's condition and ask the man if he knows of a good place to rest. Why didn't you say so sooner? I've got some good info on that front, he replies with a wink. The merchant shares that he has heard of a village to the west, wherein resides a brilliant apothecary. He's said to be a rather crabby fellow, but with any luck, you can get some medicine from him. And on top of that, find a place to rest. 2 birds with 1 stone. You say a few words of thanks and quickly head off to the west in search of the village. The man calls after you. I'll be here with my compatriots for a while, so do pop by later. The merchant glances over at you with a troubled look on his face. You ask him if something is the matter. For reasons I can't explain, I need a wolf. Could you catch one for me? He pleads. He then procures a picture and shows it to you. It looks like this. I'd like one with a beautiful shiny coat, he elaborates. It should be 2 stars at the very least. Stars, you ask? To which he explains that each monster has a star-based ranking. The stronger the monster, the more stars it has. Of course, I shall see that you are handsomely rewarded for your effort, he tells you. You decide to accept his request, then take out a wolf card from your case. A delighted smile stretches across his face, and he asks if he can have some of its fur. Once you hand a tuft over, he quickly entwines it with his own hair. Behold, he exclaims with a grin. I'm even more dashing than before, no? I need to make a good impression on all of our patrons. After all, I'm the first person they see, and how I look influences the credibility of this entire business, he explains. After he's finished arranging the wolf fur on his head, he thanks you and hands you your reward. The merchant, recognizing your monster-catching prowess, wants you to bring him an orc child next. Just like the wolf, he asks for one that's 2 stars or above. Orc children are said to live in the desert, but dislike the sun's powerful rays and tend to hide away in dark places. You make note of the information and bid the man farewell. Withered foliage dots the wasteland. Your eyes, keen with hunger, spy something that looks like the leaves and vines of a potato. You're so starved you don't care if they're rotten. You grab hold of the vines and get ready to pull. It's not giving an inch. Whatever it is, it must be huge. You pull even harder, liberating it from the earth so suddenly that you find yourself on your back. You whip your head up to get a look at the massive pile of inedible roots you've just pulled up. All that for nothing, you think. Polka, however, is pleasantly surprised. Hey, we can make a curative from these, he chirps. Turns out he'd identified the roots and done just that while you were wallowing in disappointment. Get him! This place feels eerily familiar. You open your pack and fish out a scrap of paper. You knew it. This is where the map says there's hidden treasure. You feel around on the ground for a moment and soon discover an unnatural swell in the dirt. You claw at the earth with reckless abandon. Success. Buried treasure. Ecstatic, you fling open the lid and stash its contents in your bag. Polka looks through the telescope and yelps in surprise. You snatch it from him and have a look yourself. It's a monster, and one behaving rather strangely now that you get a good look at it. Polka continues carrying on and making a scene beside you. You hand the telescope back to Polka, and step by careful step, creep toward the monster. Alas, the monster has already noticed you, and takes off at a speed you cannot hope to match. You locate a small village. This is probably the place the merchant mentioned where the apothecary lives. However, monsters suddenly appear, and they're headed straight for the town. You can't let them attack the town, for Trollus's sake too. You take off running to stop the monsters. Battle time. Beautiful. Oh! Unbeknownst to any, you manage to avert the danger. Now Trollus needs help. Hurry into the village. You and Legol enter the village, leaving Polka caring for Trollus on the sand skiff. No sooner do you enter the village than a man's voice calls out to you. This here's the Village of Light. Make yourself at home and rest your wearied spirits. The villager wears a curious headpiece, but seems polite and courteous. You get directly to the point. and ask him if he knows about the apothecary. "Ah, that would be me," he says, before offering to mix up some medicine if you're in a hurry. You explain Trollus's symptoms, and the man calling himself an apothecary smiles and says he can help right away. Afraid of the answer, you ask what it will cost. The man calling himself the apothecary laughs and assures you he has no need of payment. The apothecary hardly seems crabby at all, so you check again with him that he really is the one you're looking for. He answers that coming to this village changed him, made him realize that people need to live by helping each other. The apothecary suggests you take a wander about town while he mixes up the medicine. He adds, "The folks about town are kind souls one and all, so feel free to ask them if you need anything." Legol says that he'll get Trollus and returns to the sand skiff. You decide to walk around the village and find what you'll need to care for your friend. After hearing your tale, the proprietor of the inn beams at you and says, "Don't worry your head over payment. Stop in and make use of one of our rooms as much as you like." You offer a word of thanks and feel a weight lift off your chest. Now Trollus will be able to rest somewhere comfortable. This is no time for a private inn getaway. You need to hunt down the things you need to care for Trollus. The boy looks at you and says, "This would look nice on you, miss," and hands you a crown made of gorgeous artificial flowers. You try to pay for it, but the boy counters with a smile. "I gave it to you because I wanted to." That was nice. After hearing your tale, the woman hands you her food. Make sure you all eat up and get all your nutrients. And if there isn't enough, you just let me know and I'll make more. Ha ha. She finishes with a hearty laugh. The old man says, "No person is an island. That's why we need to join hands and help one another." The apothecary comes running your way. The medicine is finished. You take it from him and then try to head back to Trollus, but there seems to be quite some commotion at the entrance of town. Wondering what could have happened, you hurry over.